Tiger Talk is being brought to you by Flying W Boutique and Looking Glass Salon with Alicia Watson, Candy Mink, and myself, Katie Carty. It's time for Tiger Talk, heard before each Salem Tiger basketball game with Stan Stevens and Coach Jared Patterson. Now for Tiger Talk on KSMO Media.
Welcome to Tiger Talk. Stan Stevens, Coach Jared Patterson. First off, Coach, congratulations on the Cat Classic win. I know it's been a long time coming. I believe it's the first time Salem has beaten Licking in what would have been a Cat Classic back in 2011, but it's been a long time, Coach, and it had to feel good after, especially the last couple of years when we got so close and just couldn't finish it off.
Yes, you're exactly right, Stan. You know, we had a couple Big Cat Classic games that came down to the wire. We lost in overtime. Been really close, good games. And this year, just had a different feeling. We had some confidence going into the game, going down to Licking. Always a tough place to play. And our boys came out guns blazing right off the bat. Got off to a really good start and just kind of back and forth the rest of the game, but held on and won that. And it was a big win for our team and players and programs.
The guys came out very aggressive, Coach, and I was really impressed with the way they came out and just took control of the game right off the bat. Really, I don't think Licking expected that as much as you did, but too many missed close-in shots, and that game really could have been over early.
Yeah, the first game of the year, you're always going to see some things like that, a little rusty. Gavin St-Paul coming off the knee injury. That was his first basketball game, didn't play in the summer or fall. His first game since district championship, so he was a little rusty. And then Isaac Hedrick, his first varsity start. Those guys, I feel like they're going to start clicking here in December. And once those guys get going, along with our seniors, guards, and other role guys, we could be a pretty dangerous team.
This is a very guard-led team. Thomas and Gaps do a great job controlling the pace of the game, don't they, Coach?
Yeah, when you have two senior leaders, Lincoln Thomas and Braden Gatch, it really takes a lot off my shoulders. I know they can handle it. They took a few shots there that I trust senior guards to take, and they hit some big ones early just to set the tone, and that really brought the energy from the get-go. We had a really good showing with a good crowd over in Licking. So that got them going early in the game and just kind of kept that energy rolling.
Kind of coming into that game, though, over the summer, you lost a couple of guys I think you thought you were going to have, and, you had to make some changes. Of course, high school basketball, we all know what attrition is because you see it every year. But, when you maybe have thoughts at the end of last year, I'm going to have these guys back and these guys back, it has to change your thinking a little bit, doesn't it, Coach?
Yeah, we lost a couple guys that we thought, were going to be solid pieces to help us out. But the good thing about, where we're at as a program right now, we got a lot of depth. And as you can see, Tuesday night, we have a lot of size too. And I really think our size this year will make a big difference, helping out Lincoln and Gatch, not having to go a small lineup and go a little bit bigger and help those guys out as well. With that inside-out game.
We had Caden Moody on the air with us doing the game, and he was talking about how this feels in the locker room for the guys and, how close it was the last couple of years and how obviously reaching that pinnacle had to feel for these guys who maybe for the last 3 years have felt that pain and then this year actually get to feel what it's like to win and get that trophy. Coach, that euphoric nature to start your season out, it can only make it better, can't it?
Yes, it's just a perfect way to start the season. A couple of years we missed a layup to win it in regulation, lost it in overtime. And then last year, Austin Stockard hit that fadeaway three to win it in overtime. In the Licking game in the fifth place of the bowl tournament, that was a back-and-forth game, came up short. So guys like Gunnar Kunkel, Trey Richter, Cade Moody, those guys kind of set the tone for this game. And these senior guards this year, saw that heartbreak and saw that disappointment and knew how big this game was. And, they came out to play and got it done.
But it's good for you as a coach to get that monkey off your back, but to catapult yourself into the season going into the FCNB tournament tonight with a win over Licking. And how far can that take you through this tournament, Coach?
I think it's a great tone setter for our team. We're playing in the Sullivan tournament. We were in it a few years ago, but it's kind of a new tournament for us this year. We're excited to get after it. A lot of district teams, and then some new faces like Potosi and Warrington are in it as well. So we're going to see some different teams here to start the year. And, get rolling in December is a really good thing to start your season off strong.
Tonight you take on the Cuba Wildcats. Coach, tell us a little bit about Cuba if you know too much about them, maybe more from last year.
Cuba's a very talented team. We played them in the semifinals of district last year. They were a senior-heavy team last year. They bring back a couple key pieces to that team, but it's really a new look. Coach Days does a good job. He's got multitude of defenses that he used. So we're going to see a lot of different zones, a lot of different traps, full court press. They're going to throw the kitchen sink at you. So it's going to be a good look for us tonight early on to see how we handle that pressure. But we're looking for a good game. They got a couple guards coming back that are pretty solid, can shoot the ball, can drive. So it'll be a good challenge for us to start the tournament.
You mentioned our big guys, and I think they did a great job rebounding in that game against Licking. Coach, that's going to be a key this year, isn't it?
Yes, we think our size can provide some mismatches on offense, and then just the length and rebounding on defense will really be big for us. You know, we get those rebounds and outlet, sets up that transition game as well. I think that'll be a key piece this year. Last year, we didn't have a whole lot of depth, so some guys got winded later in the game. But this year, we feel like our 10-man roster is pretty solid. We can throw guys in there in pieces, get the mismatches we want, and go from there and work with it.
All right, Coach. Well, the very best of luck tonight against the Wildcats of Cuba. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Stay tuned. Tiger basketball. It is next.
Thank you, Stan. That has been Tiger Talk with Coach Jared Patterson, brought to you as a courtesy of Looking Glass Salon and Flying W Boutique. Stay tuned. Salem Tiger basketball is next.
You've seen the vertical screens in Salem and Houston filled with local community events, business ads, and even obituaries. It's called Town Screen. But did you know that you can place your message in either or both of those towns, starting as low as $15 for a week per market? You won't find a more affordable way to get your message out to the public. Produce your own ad or get help from the Town Screen staff. Go online to townscreen.com or call or text 636-338-1199. Town Screen. What's the fastest way for you to get yourself up to date on the latest in news, sports, weather, and obituaries that cost you absolutely nothing? It's Your World Today. Serving Salem and Dent County now for over 20 years, Your World Today is 4 pages of information that will take you about 5 minutes to read, and they're available in over 30-plus locations in Salem and in Bunker. Your World Today. Pick one up every weekday. They're free.
Welcome to this KSMO media broadcast of Salem Tiger Sports. Tonight's game is brought to you by Town & Country Bank, Farm Bureau Insurance, Country Mart, the Bank of Salem, Napa Mooney Auto Supply, Town Screen LLC, Town & Country Insurance, City of Salem, Dent County Prevention Coalition, Southwest Baptist University, Salem Campus, Terrell Complete Auto Care, Edward Jones, Joe Brand and Leah Nash, Duncan Family Chiropractic, State Farm Insurance, Can Oak Lumber, Salem Truss Manufacturing, Progressive Ozark Bank, Stephen Patterson, Attorney at Law, Hubs Tire Center, Flyin' W Boutique, Four Rivers, American Family Insurance, Looking Glass Salon, Candy Mink and Katie Carty, Living the Dream Real Estate, Quick Tan and more, Rockin' G Western Trading Post, Dent County Farm Supply, Healthy Dent County, Mid-Ozark Animal Health Center Incorporated, United Country Salem Realty, Jet Tire and Auto, Salem License Bureau, Technology Junkyard, Ozark Overhead Door, Legends Automotive LLC, On the Spot Auto Glass, Your World Today, The Hot Spot Tanning and Tuxedos, and Discount Bins. And now get ready for Salem Tiger basketball, right here on KSMO Media.
And we welcome you to Sullivan, Missouri. Stan Stevens and all of us here at KSMO Media bringing you Salem Tiger basketball, the fourth of 4 games here tonight. And yes, we're running a little bit behind schedule, about 15 to 20 minutes behind schedule after St. James defeated the Patriots of St. Louis 73-58. Earlier game, Warrenton beat Steelville 60-54, and it was Potosi over Sullivan 63-38. So there'll be Potosi and Warrenton playing in the winner's bracket, 7 o'clock tomorrow night, while Steelville and Sullivan will play in the losers bracket at 4 o'clock. That'll be tomorrow afternoon. St. James defeated the STL Patriots and got off to a good start. And the winner of this contest will face them tomorrow night at 8:30, while the St. Louis Patriots will take on the loser of this game, and that will be at 5:30 tomorrow evening. So this is where how tournaments go. You really don't know who you're going to play until you get ready to play them the very next day. First, I want to thank the ladies over at Flying W Boutique and Looking Glass Salon for bringing you our Tiger Talk. Stop by and see Alicia. Also, Candy or Katie, 101 West 4th Street downtown. They'll be more than happy to assist you and answer any questions you might have. And again, that is our friends over at Flying W Boutique and the Looking Glass Salon. Also want to thank United Country Salem Realty for sponsoring our intro to Salem Tiger basketball. Babette Wells, the broker owner, 573-729-3148, or see her 605 South Main, or any of her great staff at United Country Salem Realty. My name is Stan Stevens, bringing you tonight's first round game of this FCNB tournament. It got canceled last night due to the bad weather. And so we're getting ready to have this game tonight between the Salem Tigers and the Cuba Wildcats. Cuba lost quite a few kids from last year's team, but they still have a lot of guys who have some varsity experience getting ready to come back out and take on a Tiger team coming off the Cat Classic win over at Licking. They're still flying high on that one. But it doesn't mean anything if you come out and don't play up to your potential in your next game. And that's what the Salem Tigers are going to have to do tonight against the Cuba Wildcats. For Cuba, their starters will be Cameron Carnell, also Ray Gibson, Ethan Noltkamper, Caleb Brown, and A.J. Flores. For the Salem Tigers, the starting line being brought to you by Flying Up Boutique and Looking Glass Salon. It will be Lincoln Thomas at guard along with Braden Gaps. Those two are pretty much the standards. Also, Isaac Hendrick gets the start along with Gavin Sapon. And finally, our last starter tonight will be Eli Wofford. So they'll be in the white jerseys tonight. Cuba will be in their black and gold jerseys tonight and also black and gold pants. Salem all white with the Carolina blue trim on that, as well as the numbers and the lettering. So getting ready to get this one underway here from Sullivan with a pretty good crowd earlier tonight, but in this final game, pretty light crowd here at Sullivan in the FCNB tournament. Salem got out of this tournament about 6 years ago, got back into it again this year, and that's how they're starting out their season after their win over Licking. Get ready for the jump ball. Sapar goes up against Cardinal, and it comes down the hands of Steelville. Gibson has it for them. Braden at the timeline, guarded there by Thomas. Man-to-man coverage by the Salem Tigers. Goes out on top of the key to Cardinal. Cardinal trying to fire it down inside. The Salem Tigers pick that one off, and back they come the other way. Here's Thomas on the baseline. Wofford trying to dance his way in. Does off the glass. It's good. 2-0 Salem Tigers. First turnover of the game belonging to Cuba. Right now, Gibson has it. Gibson bounce pass on that high post. Waiting for it there was Brown. Getting back to Gibson. Trying to drive in now is Cardinal. Cardinal to the baseline. Lost it, got it back. Fires it outside to Gibson. Gibson beyond three. Goes to the top of the key to Flores. He backs it up into the Eagle insignia here at Sullivan. With a ball of Wildcats. Coming back is Gibson. They keep it on the perimeter, trying to dance their way in is Brown. He can't do it. Now goes baseline, going from one side to the other, going for the three ball and missing that. And on the weak side, pulling that down is Sapon. Here comes Gaps up the floor, going to the baseline. Had that ball stolen away from him. And then foul's going to be called. Nope. They didn't call the foul. They just pointed, but they didn't come up with a foul. They'll go out of bounds off Salem, their first turnover. So it's 6:35 to go, 2-0 lead, Salem Tigers. As Gibson bounce passes it across to Flores, left side. Back at the top of the key, trying to drive in is Brown. Handing it back off to Gibson. Gibson stops, trying to feed it inside, does. Spinning with it, no call was Brown. Now on top, Flores trying to dance in, lost the ball out of bounds. It'll belong to Salem Tigers. Second turnover for Cuba with 6:14 to go in the first quarter. No fouls.
for either team yet. Bring it up, Wofford. Wofford trying to drive all the way in. Can't. Goes to Thomas in the right corner. Trying to pinball his way around. Gives it off to Sapaw. Sapaw kicks it back to Wofford. To the paint, to the hole. Short jumper. And a charge is called on Wofford. Ball went in, but it's going to be called off. Wofford a little out of control. Went over top of Flores. Draws the foul. First foul of the game. Take the 2 points off the board. Still a 2-0. Salem Tiger lead. Braden Gibson will walk it up. Half-court defense for Salem. Right now, man-to-man at half-court. With that ball is Gibson. Trying to go right side now out on top. It's Carnell. Carnell at the top of the key gets a pick. Trying to dance his way in, but can't. Now Flores at the free throw line. Back out on top to Gibson. Gibson wears number 12. Standing on the left wing. Can't drive in. Hands it off to Carnell. Carnell again to Flores. Flores right at the top of the key again. Can't get the shot off. Good defense by Salem. Now taking it right to the hole. Laying it up and in is Gibson. He got by Wofford. And he ties it at 2-2. Here's Gaps. Gaps between three. Wildcats flips it off the glass. It's too hard. No good. Brought down by whom? It's going to finally be brought down by Brown. 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. 2-2 our score. Gibson has it. Slows it down between the circles. Starts a drive, flipping it back to Flores. Flores off to Carnell. Going back out on top. The three ball is up and good. Braden Gibson hits the three as Tigers left him alone. And Cuba has the early lead 5-2. Here's that Sapaw coming down. And they're going to get a blocking foul called on him. Not on him, but on Carnell as Sapaw tried to go by. Basket is good. And Cameron Carnell gets the first Cuba foul of the night. So many teams here, you lose track of who's out there. Tyson Connors comes in for Hedrick. First free throw of the night will belong to Sapaw. 5-4. Steelville on top. Stackett did it again. Cuba on top. They're not that far away. And Sapaw hits the free throw to tie it up. 4:30 to go in the first quarter. Flip across to Carnell. Carnell gets in the offensive zone to Brown. Brown goes down in the corner. Adderley on the baseline. Bounce pass across to Gibson. Gibson to Carnell. Out on top. It goes back to Gibson. Gibson had knocked out of his hand by Tyson Connors. But retrieves the ball. Way beyond three. Goes out in the corner. Trying to get that ball in. The ball was tipped. Stolen away by the Salem Tigers. Here they come back the other way. Thomas all the way in. Lays it up and in. Third turnover of this first quarter by Cuba. Oh, I'm going to get done saying that. And finally, Tigers get the lead 7-5. Now Adderley in the corner for a long two. It's way too short, but it goes off the rim, then off a Salem Tiger hand out of bounds. Rebound came off the edge of the rim at an awkward angle. Ethan Noltkamper comes in. He gets it back on top to Gibson. Gibson hanging on to it, goes inside to Brown, out to Holtkamper, back to Gibson for the three. It's too short. Brought down, though, by Steelville Cardinals. In the corner, Cardinal trying to drive in. Floats it up. It will not go. Ball tipped. Comes down the hands of Thomas. Brought down by Sapaw. And back the other way. Here's Wofford trying to dance in, and he's fouled on the floor by Flores. First on A.J. Flores. And that foul on the floor means no shots. It is the second team foul, though. Cap's trying to get it in. Fires it out on top to Thomas. Thought about the three. Doesn't take it. Lincoln backs up. Between the circles now. Looking inside. Goes right side to Connors. Tyson getting it back to Gaps. Left side Thomas. Inside it goes to Wofford. Wofford to the paint. 3-footer. Good. 9-5. Salem Tigers as Gibson has it. Gibson gets a little bit of pressure from the Salem Tigers. Gets it off to Brown. Right down the middle of the floor. Brown back out on top to Gibson. Kicks it outside to A.J. Flores. Flores beyond three. Back to Gibson. Baseline running jumper. It's good. 9-7 with Braden Gibson with all the points for the Cuba Wildcats. Thomas has it to Wofford, right at that high post. Kicks it back out on top to Tyson Connors. Connors trying to spin away, gets away from Cuba Wildcats, kicks it back to Gapsh. Man-to-man coverage by Cuba. Gapsh trying to get away from Carnell. Still moving, gets separation, fires it back to Thomas. 2 minutes, 5 seconds to go. This is the first quarter, goes down to Sapaw. His shot hit the bottom of the rim. He got his own rebound and scores. 11-7 Salem Tigers. Salem with a little bit of forecourt pressure. Now they get it off to Brown. Cuba trying to break that press. Here comes Flores, walked with it, no call, and lays it in. Wow, he went between two Salem Tigers, took 3 steps. Pretty obvious walk missed there by the officials. 11-9. Here's Tigers with it. Wofford goes down to Sapaw, all alone off the glass, too hard. Trying to bring it down is Connors, comes back to Sapaw, and it'll be tied up underneath. Possession arrow ball will favor the Salem Tigers. Brown and Sapaw tied it up. Full-scale change for Cuba. Almost full-scale change. Carnell stays in. And Gibson will stay in. Otherwise, different guys have come in. Pass comes outside to Connors. Hallinar comes in for the Salem Tigers. Inside to Hallinar. Turnaround, fade away. Good. Ryan Hallinar right in that paint. Turns around and about a 6-footer. Puts it home. 13-9. Salem with 1:12 to go. First quarter. Here's Flores with it. Giving it off to Gibson. Adderley on the floor along with Leighton Eicherman. A.J. Flores back to Gibson. Gibson with 53 seconds to go. Out near center court to Flores. Back to Gibson. Gets by one man. Kicks it back to Flores for a 3. And a 3-second violation called on number 4, Cameron Carnell. Turns the ball over for the 4th time for Cuba. 41 seconds to go. First quarter. 13-9 Salem. Lincoln Thomas will walk it up. Thomas trying to get a pick from Hallinar. Had that ball knocked away. Had it knocked away again. Goes and picks it up. Comes up quickly up the floor. Gets over the timeline. Thomas to the hole. Takes the shot. Puts it up. But he draws the foul. And he'll be going to the line. I'd like to thank our friends at New Life Auto at 583 Highway 68 Salem for being a proud supporter of the Salem Tigers. Give them a call, 573-453-2757. Let them put new life into your auto at New Life Auto. They called that a foul on the floor, so no shot. Inside pass to Hallinar. Fadeaway jumper off the rim, no good. Sapaw brings down the rebound, trying to kick it out, but it was intercepted by Cuba. Their second steal with 13 seconds to go. Here's Gibson out near center court. 13-9 our score. Gibson beyond 3, goes back in the corner. Quick 3 from the corner off the rim. No good. Brought down by Adderley. 2 seconds left. Kicks it back to Gibson. A 3-pointer at the buzzer is good. And they'll say it is good. Gibson hits the 3 at the buzzer. And we have a 13-12 game after 1 quarter of play. We'll be back in 1 minute. It's Tiger Basketball on KSMO Media.
Reality check number 22. On a scale of 1 to 10, shouldn't customer service be an 11? At Town & Country Bank, we have a solution for that. Walk into any Town & Country and you'll feel welcome right away. We're your neighbors. If you're a customer, we'll probably even call you by name. It's just what neighbors do. Town & Country Bank. Smart, friendly solutions. Member FDIC.
At Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, we are proud to be chosen by our neighbors and recognized by Forbes as one of America's best insurance companies. Awarded for the dependable coverage we've been providing for generations, including 75 years of life insurance to protect Missouri families. Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We've got Missouri covered.
Hi, I'm Willie Strader and proud to be part of this community. For all your insurance needs, call me at 573-729-4941.
want to thank our friends at Mid-Ozark Animal Health Center, being a proud supporter of the Salem Tigers. Dr. Ashley Cunningham, your vet for livestock or pets. Call her 573-729-4031. Or drop by 900 West Scenic Ridge Boulevard. That's Mid-Ozark Animal Health Center. Cuba has the ball on the inbound. Handing that ball off right now is Holtcamper. Goes in the corner. Waiting for it. There's Cardinal going back to Gibson. Braden Gibson with 10 of the 12 points for Steelville. Ball goes in the corner to Flores, backs up, kicks it back out on top to Gibson. Inside, ball spins, turns, kicks it out to Cardinal for a three from the corner. It's off the front of the rim, no good. And Connors brings down the rebound. Connors off to Gaps. Gaps into the offensive zone, trying to get away from Cardinal. He draws the foul. First foul on Steelville here in the second quarter. Second on Cardinal. Adderley back in for Cardinal. Inbound to Gaps here, just underway here, second quarter. Salem up by 1 over the Wildcats of Cuba. Here's Connors. Beyond 3. Trying to get inside. Ball thrown right into the hands of Gibson. And Cuba comes away with a steal. Connors tried to force that one in. Had other options, but tried to get into Wofford, and just good job by Gibson to get his hand out there and knock it away. Gibson fires it inside to Brown. Brown in the paint, tied up. He kicks it back out to Flores. A.J. Flores back to Gibson in the center court insignia to Gibson. Gibson back to Flores. They play catch on the perimeter. Bouncing the ball inside. Salem steals it right back. Down the other way comes Connors. And did they get the timeout called in time? Connors lost that ball on his feet. And Cuba was able to jump on the ball. And they got possession on the steal. And that is their third steal of the contest. Make that their fourth steal of the contest. And the fifth turnover for the Salem Tigers. A timeout with 6:36 remaining in the first half. 13-12 Salem back in 30 seconds. Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
Check out Country Mart in Salem, where in their bakery you can find a large variety of cakes for all occasions, anytime, and by special order, like anniversary, wedding, and birthday cakes. Country Mart has a full-service deli where breakfast is served daily. They have deli sandwiches that are made while you wait, and they offer daily lunch specials every day. You'll also find a large selection of cheese and deli meats to choose from. It's just another reason to shop at Country Mart in Salem, Highway 3272 East.
Back to play the inbound by Cuba. Salem falls into his zone. Ball comes outside to Gibson. Goes inside all alone. And getting the foul on Wofford, but laying the ball in. And getting the basket is Brown. Caleb Brown gives the Cuba Wildcats their first lead. Or their second lead, I should say. They had a 5-2 lead. But the foul called on Wofford, his second. He'll check out. Hallinar back in the game. Wofford a little slow to react to the pass, and then when he did, unfortunately made body contact. The free throw is good by Brown. 2-point Cuba lead. So kind of gone cold. A 6-point run by the Wildcats. As Gaps holds on to it. And Gaps gets double teamed. Now goes by 3. Goes up to the basket. Lays it up and in. Boy, he eluded 2 Wildcats out high, and then when he got down low, they did not want to foul. Pass up the middle, and a foul's going to be called on Salem as Ragsdale just checks in moments ago. And he's going to pick up the foul. That'll be his first foul. Second, the Salem Tigers here in the second quarter. Have an equipment adjustment being made here by the officials as the Wildcats will inbound it. Again, Salem in half-court defense, 15-15 our score, first half. Adderley has it for Cuba. Adderley out on top to Gibson. Gibson gets away from one Tiger player, but can't get away from Gaps. He slaps the pass out of bounds. Noel Camper comes over to inbound it, getting it to Gibson. Cross to Adderley. Adderley looking inside. Nothing there. Goes back on top to Gibson. Gibson beyond 3. Bounce pass in the corner. Wait for it. There's Noel Camper. Guarded there by Stapel. Gets it down low to Brown. Brown fadeaway jumper will not go. Ball tip controlled there by Ragsdale. Hayden off to Gaps. 15 all our score. We're in the second quarter with 5:15 to go. Pass right side to Ryan Cunningham. Cunningham bounce pass into Hallinar. He'll be fouled. So the foul called on Caleb Brown. Salem will inbound it. Legends Auto is a proud supporter of your Salem Tigers, 500 West Scenic Girls Boulevard in Salem. Call them 573-792-884 to get your vehicle in tip-top shape for any season. Legends Auto, proud to support your Salem Tigers.
Last foul is on number 12. His first.
I think they may have changed that foul from 15 to 12. Let's see if that's what they're doing. The officials are over there. Well, they're going to leave it as the inbound comes to Cunningham. Man-to-man coverage by Cuba. Very tight coverage. Here's Sapal trying to drive in. Off the glass and in. Gavin's got 7. Salem back up by 2. Braden Gibson with Salem with a little forecourt pressure. I want to say full court. Just got a couple of guys in the forecourt. The long pass goes down to Keogh. Just checked in the ball game. That's Matt Keogh. He get it down outside, and in the paint was Brown, but he gets fouled by the Salem Tigers. And the foul's going to be called on Lincoln Thomas. 3 fouls for Salem, 2 for Steelville here in this second quarter, 17-15. Flores trying to get in, does back out to Gibson. Gibson back to Flores in the corner for the 3. It's off the strut. Comes down in the hands of Gaps. Braden Gaps the other way, off to Thomas. Thomas to the paint, to the hole. Underneath it goes to Sapal. All alone, he lays it home. Nice job by Thomas to draw the defender to him and then just gave it over to Sapal with nobody near him. Now Noel Camper goes to Brown. Brown in the paint, kicks it back outside to Gibson, trying to drive in. Back to Noel Camper for a 3. It rims out, no good. Nice grab by Brown, puts it up and in. Brown reached behind him and grabbed that rebound and put it home. Good job by the young man. That ball's all but by him, but he reached back with a paw, grabbed it. Here's Gaps on top, Sapal. Sapal drives in, sends the paint to the hole, trying to lay it up and in, but he'll draw the foul on Brown. And that is Brown's first foul. He did give that other foul to Braden Gibson. Now Sapal back to the line. He will shoot 2. He's 1 for 1. Makes that one. Gavin at times has struggled from that free throw line last year. Hedrick back in. Halnar check out. Next one is also good. 11 points for Sapal. Tiger lead is 4 with 3:40 to go in this, the first half. Tigers trying to get in the face of Cuba. Adderley double team, fires it back to get inside to Flores. Flores pulls up near center court, fires it across. Getting it there is Gibson in the corner. Adderley baseline. Adderley pulls up, back on top to Gibson. Gibson out again near center court. Resets the play for the Wildcats. 3:15 to go in a half. 21-17, Salem on top. Gibson bounced past to Nolkamp in the corner. Nolkamp lost the ball, stolen out of his hands from Sapal, and then Nolkamp will foul Sapal. That'll be the 4th team foul on Cuba, and it'll put Salem at the line the next foul that they commit. No pressure, half-court defense by Cuba. Salem inbounds with 3 minutes to go. Gaps takes the 3-pointer off the iron, no good, and comes down into the hands of Carnell. Ball tipped out of bounds by Cunningham on a pass by Carnell, so it'll stay with the Wildcats. Inbound comes to Gibson, back to Carnell. Carnell coming up the left wing, back to Gibson, the middle of the floor. Bounce pass to A.J. Flores in the corner. Nolkamp back to A.J. A.J. fakes it, puts it off the glass. It will not go, and it comes down the hands of Thomas. Thomas underneath. It goes to Hedrick, lays it in and gets the foul. Isaac all in one motion, got the pass, flipped it up, got it to go, and draws the foul. He'll get the free throw. And that foul was called on Nolkamper. He'll check out. Coming in the ball game will be Zane Brown. Hedrick to the free throw line, trying to extend the Salem Tigers 6-point lead, and he does not. And I think a foul underneath on Ragsdale as that ball went off the support, went straight up in the air, and Ragsdale fouled underneath. 14 fouls. Each team now in the bonus on fouls with 2:25 left to go. Adderley down the right side. Pass goes off the hands of Ragsdale, intended for Brown. Hayden just reached in and deflected it out of bounds. Flores to inbound. Fires it back to Gibson. Gibson across to Adderley. Seth Adderley trying to get away from Thomas. Goes back to Gibson. And now a 3-second violation called on number 15, Brown. His second one of the game. Six turnovers now for Cuba. Salem has 5. Each team with 4 steals. Here's Thomas with it, trying to get that ball across to Gaps, who was knocked out of bounds by Brown. Ragsdale to get it in, fires it to Thomas. Half-court defense by Cuba. Now they try and pressure the Tigers. Here's Ragsdale underneath the Hedrick. Hedrick trying to get to it, goes out of bounds off of Cuba, I believe. It should stay with the Salem Tigers with 1:52 to go in the half. Tigers line up. Ragsdale out on top to Thomas. Guarded by Adderley. Thomas gets by Adderley. Goes in the corner. Spins, turns. Looks for a little bit of help. Fires it back to Safepaw. Top of the key. Drives the paint. Kicks it back to Gaps. Gaps to the paint, to the hole. Trying to fire that ball in. It's stolen away, though, by the Wildcats. Tigers 6th turnover. Trying to get that pass down to Safepaw, but it was stolen away. Now firing it back. A.J. Flores from Gibson, and Gibson gives it right back to Gibson with 1:20 to go. 23-17, Salem with the lead. Pass to Adderley, right side. Goes inside to Brown. Brown, 10-footer off the glass. It's good. Caleb Brown now has 7. All in this quarter. Here comes Thomas, and a foul's going to be called on Adderley, and that'll put Lincoln at the line with 1:02 to go to shoot 2. Adderley's first foul. Lincoln got a really good head start down that right wing, and Adderley had to try and catch up. And then Lincoln pulled up a little bit, and Adderley ran right into him. And for Adderley, that's his second foul. Thomas from the free throw line. The free throw is good. Salem 4 of 5 from the stripe. Thomas still has one more to go. That one also good. 25-19. Salem on top here with 1 minute to go in this first half. Here's the pass to Carnell. Carnell at center court. Ends up getting fouled by Salem. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. And Ragsdale's going to get his 3rd. That's too many here in the first half. Again, each team with 5 team fouls, at least 5. Free throw is good. Cardinal gets his first point of the night. .56 seconds left to go. Cameron Cardinal's next one is no good. Brought down by Hedrick. The other way, gap for the Salem Tigers. Left side pass to Connors. Connors trying to go baseline. Gets cut off by Brown. Back to Thomas. Thomas on the perimeter. Cuts to the paint. Bounce pass out to Gap. The three-pointer up. It's off the iron. No good. Brought down by Hedrick, baby. Hook turns good. Nice job by Hedrick. Rebound and basket. 30 seconds to go. 27-20. Salem on top. Pass to Cardinal. Down the middle of the floor to Brown. Brown backs out beyond three to Gibson. 20 seconds to go. Gibson back in the corner. Getting it there is Keogh. Back to Gibson. To Cardinal in the corner, A.J. Flores. Flores with 11 seconds. Goes to Gibson. To Brown. Bounce pass underneath. All alone. Laying it up and in is Keogh. 4 seconds left. Here comes Thomas down. Thomas gets tripped up. Turnaround jumper by Hedrick. No good. And we played one half here at Sullivan, Missouri. Salem Tigers with 14 points in that second quarter, lead it by a score of 27-22 as they outscore Cuba by a score of 14-10. We are at halftime. Before we take some breaks, let's go and tell you a little bit about our friends at Quick Tan and More, 24-hour tanning. They have a stand-up bed plus 6 tanning beds at 405 North Main, 573-453-8024. Quick Tan and More, proud to support your Salem Tigers, as well as Jet Tire and Auto at 800 South Park Avenue, 573-729-3650. You can also go online to jettiresandauto.com. Jet Tire and Auto, where you can sign up for that great Christmas promotion going on right now. And again, a proud supporter of your Salem Tigers. Let's take a 2.5-minute break and come back with some stats in the first half. It's Tiger Basketball on KSMO Media.
Every day we share personal information, like when you write a check, apply for a credit card, or even make a call on a cell phone. And the Bank of Salem wants to pass on some tips on how to protect yourself from identity theft. Don't carry around more checks, credit cards, or identification information than you really need in your wallet. Make sure you always safely store those items and other important documents. Plus, you should always choose passwords and PIN numbers that will be tough for someone to figure out. These tips are brought to you by the Bank of Salem, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Holiday savings are going on now at Napa Auto Parts Store in Salem, where you'll find Rain-X washer fluids starting at $4.99. Save up to 42% on select night vision LED minis, fog lights, and LED sealed beams and gear up accessories. Your choice for $7.49 each. Stop by Napa Auto Parts Store at 604 East Scenic Rivers Boulevard in Salem. Open from 8 to 5 Monday through Fridays and 8 to noon on Saturdays.
You want to teach your kid good money habits, but handing them a license to spend isn't smart. You need to easily manage where and how much they can spend, get alerts when they do, and have support to teach them money skills. Our student debit card account does all of that and more for ages 13 through 25. Their debit card can be added to their phone or smartwatch, and you can instantly move money and help manage their card in the app. Only at Progressive Ozark Bank, FDIC insured.
Want to change a life in just 1 hour a week? Thanks to the opioid settlement funds through Healthy Dent County, the Mentoring Makes a Difference program is here, connecting caring adults with local students. 1 hour of your time can make a lasting difference. Join us today and become a mentor. Contact liberty@salemcommunitycenter.org or call 573-729-8163. Mentoring makes a difference. 1 hour, one child, one big impact.
At Four Rivers Community Health Center, we provide compassionate care for the whole family. From routine checkups and chronic condition management to dental care and behavioral health services to support your overall well-being. With locations in Rolla, St. Robert, Salem, and now in Cuba, quality care is closer than you think. Schedule your appointment online at fourrivers.org. Call or text 573-426-4455. At Four Rivers, we're more than healthcare. We're your partner in health.
And welcome back to Sullivan, Missouri. Stan Stevens along with you here. Salem Tigers lead it at halftime 27-22. It's time for our halftime show. Tonight, Country Salem Realty brings you our halftime stats. And, of course, you can give them a call if you're looking for real estate in their area or even surrounding areas at 573-729-3148 or stopping by 605 South Main Street. Bad Wells, broker-owner, proud to support your Salem Tigers. And also your friends at Salem License Office, 1104 South Main Street in the Crossroads Shopping Center for all your licensing needs for your trailers, your boats, or your automobiles, or even your own personal driver's license or ID. 573-729-8305. Salem License Office, also proud to support your Salem Tigers. Salem being led by Gavin Sapaw, 11 points. He also is 3 for 3 from the stripe. He is being followed in scoring right now by two people, Eli Wofford with 4 and Lincoln Thomas with 4, actually by 3 with Isaac Hedrick also has 4 points. Braden Gapch has 2, and Ryan Hallinar with a couple of points for the Salem Tigers. Leading rebounders, Sapaw with 4, 2 for Hedrick, and nobody else has more than 1. For the Cuba Wildcats, 10 points in the first quarter by Braden Gibson, but he was scoreless in the second quarter, and then 7 points by Caleb Brown, all in the second quarter, and a 3-pointer by Cameron Carnell and 2 by Matt Kehoe. And 2 points also by A.J. Flores in the contest. Steelville 2 for 3 from the stripe. Salem Tigers 5 of 6 from the stripe. 3 fouls on Hayden Ragsdale. He leads the way. Eli Wofford has a couple. And Adderley, Carnell, and Noltkamper each have 2 fouls for the Cuba Wildcats. 6 turnovers for Cuba. 6 turnovers for Salem. 5 steals for Cuba. 4 steals for the Salem Tigers. A very even first half, really, when you look at the entirety of it. Really not too much difference. Key ingredient, though, is the rebounds by Salem. They out-rebounded Cuba by a 10-3 margin. Hey, I want to thank our friends at On the Spot Auto Glass for being a proud supporter of your Salem Tigers. Check them out on Facebook or call 573-247-3608. You know, they do exactly what their name indicates. They change out your auto glass on the spot. On the Spot Auto Glass, proud to support your Salem Tigers. Winner of this game will be playing the St. James Tigers tomorrow night at 8:30. The loser will take on the St. Louis Patriots at 5:30. And that will be here tomorrow night here at Sullivan after Monday night's snow out. They got the games rescheduled for tonight. So it'll be back-to-back nights, and then the championship rounds will be on Friday night here at Sullivan. Hey, why leave town for the care you can get right here in Salem? Salem Memorial Hospital provides emergency care, outpatient services, and swing bed recovery, keeping families close to home. With a renewed commitment to compassion and quality, Salem Memorial is looking for caring professionals to join their team. Learn more at smdh.net. Salem Memorial Hospital, your health, our community. Don't forget, we'll be on the radio tomorrow as well as streaming. So for those who are streaming with us tonight because of the Missouri basketball contest, we will have it both ways tomorrow. Again, on AM 1340 and FM 95.7, as well as on our stream channels, KSMORadio.com, KSMO Stream Facebook, and KSMO YouTube. And earlier tonight, it was Potosi over Sullivan 63-38. And it was also Warrenton beating Steelville 60-54. So Sullivan and Steelville play in the losers bracket in that game tomorrow at 4 o'clock here at Sullivan. And Potosi and Warrenton will play at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. The STL Patriots, we mentioned, lost to St. James. That score was 73-58. So the St. Louis Patriots are playing the losers game tomorrow at 5:30. And the loser of this game will face them tomorrow at that time. The winner will take on the St. James Tigers. Again, that will be at 8:30 tomorrow night. We are at halftime, 27-22. Let's take a 2-minute break and come back with the second half. It's Tiger Basketball on KSMO Media.
This is Mike Elliott from Town & Country Insurance. As an independent agent, we shop many different companies, allowing us to find the best value for our clients. Town & Country Insurance has been serving South Central Missouri since 1963. We have offices in Salem, Rolla, Licking, and Mountain Grove, and would welcome an opportunity to show you what we can do for you. Stop by 400 West Scenic Rivers Boulevard, located inside the Town & Country Bank, or you can call our office at 729-6624.
Southwest Baptist University campus in Salem provides quality higher education close to home for residents of Dent County and the surrounding areas. The classes at SBU Salem campus are taught in the afternoon and evenings, making a degree attainable for people who are in the workforce or can't afford to go off to get a degree. We offer degrees in nursing, which is an RN Bridge program, elementary education. For more information on the degrees and programs, please contact admissions counselor Chris Welch to schedule an appointment as a prospective or returning student.
Terrell Complete Auto Care is a full-service auto repair center in Salem. They offer full-service oil changes as well as $2 discounts on Tuesdays for all ladies, and Wednesday is Senior Citizen Day. Plus, Terrell Complete Auto Care can take care of all your auto and diesel repair needs. They offer free pickup and delivery in town. Call 729-5761. James and Sheena and the staff of Terrell Complete Auto Care are proud to support the Salem Tigers.
Life is a series of moments. Big moments, small moments, moments you want to bottle up so they can last forever. At Edward Jones, we want to make the most of all of them. Whether you're planning for a trip of a lifetime, retirement, or just need some everyday advice along the way. That's why an Edward Jones financial advisor like me works with you to build strategies for today and tomorrow. Life is for living. Let's partner through all of it. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Leah Nash. Call me or Joe Brand at Edward Jones 573-729-3831. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
And welcome back to Sullivan. We'd like to remind you, Rocket G Western and Trading Post has all your Western apparel, boots, and decor. Drop by and see them on Highway 19 North at 3629 North Highway 19 or call 573-247-5000. Locally owned and operated, Rocket G Western Trading Post. Again, 573-247-5000. Proud to be a supporter of your Salem Tigers, who lead at 27-22, and they'll inbound the ball to start this second half. Again, Gavin Sapon leading score with 11. Being followed up right now with three guys with 4 points. So good balanced scoring so far for the Salem Tigers. Here's Gaps with it. Gaps double team, fires in the corner to Thomas. Takes the three-pointer from the corner. Hits it. Thomas makes it a 30-22 game right off the bat here in the second half. With the ball is Carnell. Carnell back to Gibson. Gibson guarded there by Thomas. Gibson out near center court spins. Flips it down to Flores, guarded by Wofford, who's back in the ball game. Getting it to Cardinal. Hanging off to Noel Camper. Getting it over down to Gibson as they continue to rotate. Now back on top, Noel Camper. Top of the key. Looking. Fires it right side to Gibson, who comes back out near center court. Resets the play. Bounce pass left side to Noel Camper. Noel Camper guarded by Cunningham. Goes to Cardinal on the top of the key. Trying to get in. Goes back to Noel Camper for a three. He can't get it to go. And Cunningham brings it down. Ball knocked out of his hands by Noel Camper. He'll stay with the Salem Tigers. A three-pointer by Lincoln Thomas has extended the Tiger lead to 8. Pass comes to Cunningham. Some four-court pressure by Cuba. Tigers get it down to Sapal all alone underneath the basket. He lays it up and in. Tigers recognized it and broke that press and had Sapal all alone at that low post, and he just banked it home. Here the other way, Brown comes for the black and gold Cuba Wildcats. On top, Gibson. Ball tipped away by Thomas. He just can't get the steal as Cuba retains possession. 6.5 to go, third quarter, 32-22. Coming down, driving is Gibson. Now to Flores, to the paint, to the hole, kicks it outside to number 4, and that's Cardinal. His shot will not go, and Wofford brings down the rebound. Coming from behind and stealing that ball away is Noel Camper. Trying it down to Gibson. Gibson all the way down, trying to lay it up. It's the bottom of the basket, and Sapon brings down the rebound after the steal by the Cuba Wildcats. With the ball, Cunningham. Tied to Wofford. Wofford had backdoor Gaps all alone, but didn't see him. Getting it now to Cunningham. Cunningham now to Gaps. Right wing. On top. There's Sapal. Left side pass to Cunningham. Inside it goes to Wofford. Wofford backs up. Short jumper. No good. With the rebound, though, is Sapal, and he puts it home. Rebound out battle to Cuba Wildcats. And a timeout called by Coach DJ Dace of Cuba. With a score, Salem 34 and Cuba 22. Back in 30 seconds, Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
Is your back continually giving you pain? Do you constantly have headaches? Do you have numbness or tingling in your arms, hands, legs, or feet? These are symptoms and they're a warning sign from your body. And if you'd like to know why they're occurring, Dr. Amber Duncan of Duncan Chiropractic can help. Her mission is to find the cause of the problem and correct it. Give Dr. Amber Duncan a call at 729-2321 or stop by 401 East Scenic Rivers Boulevard in Salem.
And welcome back to Sullivan Living the Dream Outdoor Properties is available for you to find the right property for you. Jenna Deason is a land specialist in farm, hunting, and recreational outdoor property sales. So if you're looking for that kind of property, give Jenna a call, 573-247-0521. Proud to support your Salem Tigers, living the dream outdoor properties. And also, your friends right here at KSMO Radio want to remind you we'll be back tomorrow night, either at 8:30 or 5:30, as the Tigers will continue here in the FCNB tournament. Right now, they're up by 12, 34-22 over the Cuba Wildcats. Here's Gibson with it. Gibson between the circles, right side pass to Flores. Flores out on top, Carnell. Carnell trying to hand that ball off to Gibson. Could not do it. Now stops, gaps all over him. Gives it to Brown instead. Brown trying to make his way in. Can't now to Flores. Flores walks with it again. No good on the tip, but a tip up by Brown goes in. Nice job by that young man. Up against Sapal. He got over top of him, just banked that ball off the glass and in. Now Thomas with a three. It's short and brought down and controlled by Brown. And then Sapal will try and dig for it and get a foul. His first. So good job by Brown to out-rebound Sapal back-to-back plays. One goes in for a basket, and the other draws a foul. The other way, Gibson. Gibson beyond three. Flips it back on top. Carnell, 4:40 to go. DJ Flores in the corner for a three. It's an air ball. Brought down by Thomas. Long pass to Gaps. Gaps on his way all the way down. Lays it in. Beautiful pass by Thomas. Braden got behind Gibson. And the Tiger regained their 12-point lead. Gibson versus Thomas over to Flores. Guarded by Wofford. Flores bounce pass down to Carnell. Baby hook. Good shot. Cameron Carnell gets his fifth point. Again, a 10-point Salem Tiger lead. 4:10 to go in this third quarter. Thomas between the circles. Right side pass to Gaps. On top, Wofford. Left side pass to Thomas beyond three. Thomas looking inside. Nothing there on top to Cunningham. Takes the quick three. It's off the front of the rim. No good. And then Flores will bring down the rebound as Thomas will draw the foul. Not quite sure why Salem is settling for threes here with the lead. Connors comes in, as does Hedrick. Wofford checks out, and Cunningham checks out. 36-26 our score. Foul on Thomas is second, by the way. With 3:51 still to go in this third quarter. Bringing it down, Gibson. Pass across to Noltkamper. Now on top, Carnell. Carnell beyond three, handing it back to Gibson. Trying to drive his way in. Can't to Noltkamper for a three, and it's good. 36-29. Tigers 12-point lead now to 7. Here comes Gaps all the way down. He takes it to the hole, and he's going to call for a charge. He went over top of Carnell, and so Gaps will get called for the charge, and he'll have his first foul. The Tigers, who scored the first 9 points of this second quarter, have watched Cuba come back. Or I should say the first 7 points of this third quarter. Watch Cuba come back. And they've scored the last 7. Now another three from the corner. Rims out. No good. And Hedrick brings it down, but then almost turns that ball over. Picked up there by Gaps over to Thomas. 3 minutes to go. Thomas inside to Sapal. Has that ball knocked away, but it goes right to Thomas to Gaps for the three-pointer. It's off the rim. No good. Ball tip brought down by Hedrick. Hedrick fires it right in the hands of Adderley. Didn't really look. Just tried to flip it back in the middle. Tigers their third turnover. Here comes Gibson. And a foul on the floor on now Thomas. And all of a sudden, the Cuba Wildcats have taken momentum away from the Salem Tigers. Tigers came out strong, had the first 7 points, but they've been outscored since then by a 7-2 margin. But they lead it by 7 with 2:39 to go in the third quarter. Inbound tip comes down into the hands of the Salem Tigers, who cannot really control it. Safe ball was knocked down and never had that ball. And now Flores takes off with it. He's finally called for a travel. He's done that 3 times in the game. This is the first time that the officials have called him for that travel. Shifts both feet and then takes 2 steps. That's more than enough to qualify for a travel. And finally called this time. Here's Gaps with it. Guarded there by Brown. Goes inside to Safaw. Safaw turns, spins, gets away from one man, puts it up and in. Safaw's got 6 points this half, 17 on the night, 38-29. Salem up by 9, 2:05 to go in the third quarter. Cunningham all over Gibson. Gives it off to Noltkamper. Now to Flores. Flores in the right corner. Stops. Trying to get inside. Can't. Now back to Noltkamper in the corner. Ball tip stolen away by Hedrick. Hedrick fires it across for Gaps. Almost threw it over his head. But down here comes Salem Tigers. Here's Connors. Out on top to Gaps. Gaps inside to Sapaw, and he lays it in left-handed. Nice job by Gavin. And the lead back to 11 with 1:35 to go. Gibson trying to get away from Cunningham. Goes right side to Adderley. Seth Adderley on the perimeter, giving it back to Noltkamper. Noltkamper for the 9-footer floats it in. Nice job. 31 now for the Cuba Wildcats, but they trail it by 9 as Tyson Connors comes up. Connors bounce pass down to Sapaw. Sapaw trying to get inside. Baby hook, no good. Ball tip, gets his own rebound, and it's going to be called, nope, it's going to be a jump ball. The possession error will favor the Cuba Wildcats. Sapaw missed that short one. He's made all of them tonight so far, except for that one. He's got 19 points on the night to lead Salem so far to that 9-point lead, 40-31, with a minute left to go in the third quarter. Here's Flores. Left side pass to Noltkamper. Noltkamper trying to drive in. Ball stolen away by Sapaw. Sapaw gives it off to Gaps. Underneath to Cunningham. Lays it up. It won't go. Put back up by Sapaw one more time, and he's fouled on the second time. Tigers get the steal. And Adderley will get the foul. Sapaw to the line. He will shoot 2. And that one misses. Salem 5 of 6 in the first half. Trying to give the Tigers a 10-point lead with this free throw, and he does. 3 of 4 on the night. I should say 4 of 5 on the night. With a ball with 35 seconds, it's Noltkamper. Noltkamper, top of the key, giving it back to Carnell. Carnell trying to drive in, kicks it back to Noltkamper. Noltkamper on top to Flores to the paint. Bounces it back to Noltkamper for 3. It's good. Ethan Noltkamper has a couple of threes. Long pass down to Hedrick. Hedrick shot off the glass. No good. Brought down and controlled by A.J. Flores. Took that one a little too quickly. Flores down the middle of the floor. Kicks it outside to Carnell. Carnell to the paint. Floating jumper. It's good. Hedrick should have taken a little more time. Did not get it. 1 second left. Shot by Cunningham is too short. And the Salem Tigers, after 1 half and 1 quarter, or 3 quarters of play, lead it by a score of 41-36. We'll come back in a minute with the fourth quarter Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
Insurance with a local agent? It's called service. Call State Farm agent Cameron Irway in Salem today.
Every project is different, which is why Salem Trust wants you to know they'll work directly with anyone. You don't need a contractor to use their services. Salem Trust can then use their modern engineering software to design and construct the quality trusses specific for your home, barn, or business. The size of the job doesn't matter, but the quality of their work does. Plus, Salem Trust is locally owned and operated. Open Monday through Friday. Call Salem Trust at 729-9276 for more information.
And welcome back to the third quarter. A hot spot tanning at Tuggs at 1114 South Main Street. The Crossroads is a 24-hour tanning available studio. Check them out for their red light therapy. And for all your tuxedo needs, stop by and see them. 573-729-8699 is their number. Hot spot tanning at Tuggs at the Crossroads Shopping Center. Salem will inbound the ball up by 5. Haven't started the clock yet. Finally did. And here the pass goes to Wofford. Wofford trying to drive his way in, does, and puts it up, and it goes in. Eli Wofford gets that one to fall. Tigers lead is 7. Camper coming down the other way to Brown. Brown's shot up and no good. And then a foul after the fact called, I think, on Ragsdale. Ragsdale now has 4 fouls. That one was totally unneeded because the guy missed a shot, but he came down and hit him after he came down, and now he gets the free throws. And he hits the first one. That's a tough foul. He'll have to check out. He's got 4. First Cuba free throw here in the second half. 43-37. Salem had the ball on the missed shot. So it makes that one even harder. Now Sapal brings down a rebound, got pushed, but no call. Here comes Gaps. Now to Thomas. Sets up for the 3. It's a no good. Comes out high again. Salem settling for 3-pointers here as Camper brings that rebound. Just underway here in the fourth quarter. Here's Carnell. Carnell spins to the paint, to the hole. Stop. Short jumper. Too short. Tipped up high in the air. Brought down by Wofford. Off it goes to Thomas. Lincoln stops. Fires it across to Gaps. Gaps, who only has 4 points in this game. Inside it comes to Sapal. To the paint, to the hole, trying to get the shot up. He is fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. 20 points for Gavin in this one tonight. That's going to be on Caleb Brown. That is second foul. Free throw is no good. Too hard. 6 of 9 now from the stripe for the Tigers. And this one is good. 44-37. Salem on top. Each team has swapped a free throw here in this fourth quarter. Pass comes to Gibson. Gibson on top. Camper. Beyond that 3-pointer. Camper has got a little bit hot here. So has Carnell. Stops in the paint. Kicks it outside to Flores. Flores back to Camper between the circles. Drives to his left. Stops back to Flores. Ball knocked away. Stolen by the Salem Tigers. And here comes Thomas. Thomas the other way. In the corner. Wofford thought about the 3. Didn't take it. Trying to drive to the paint. Does. Lays it up and in. Nice job by Eli Wofford. Saw the lane. Took it. Drives it. Gets the Salem Tigers a 9-point lead. Coming off that left wing. Here's Gibson. For Cuba. Gibson. Handing it off to Carnell. Carnell top of the key. He's trying to drive in. Ball goes off his knee, I believe. Let's see if they say it's Salem ball or Cuba ball. Or did he bounce it off of Wofford's knee? They'll say it went off Wofford's knee. Stays with the Wildcats. Flores to inbound it. Flores goes in the corner to Carnell. Out on top, Gibson. Gibson, who was super hot in that first quarter, hasn't scored since. That's right side to Carnell. And now a foul called underneath the basket. And looks like Ryan Hallinar is going to pick up a foul. Second team foul for Salem with 5:55 to go in the fourth quarter. Salem up by 9. Ball comes outside to Gibson in the corner. Carnell for a 3. It's off the side of the rim. No good. And taken under control by Thomas. Ball's knocked out of bounds by Cuba after Thomas tried to pass. So Salem will reset with 5:45 to go. Fourth quarter, regulation time. Thomas has it. Gets inside to Gavin Sapaw. Baby hook shot. Good. Count the basket. And he draws the foul. Nice baby hook by Sapaw. And then Brown will draw his third foul, trying to keep up with Gavin. Gavin has made 5 out of 7 free throws tonight. That one's good. He gets the bonus. He's got 24 in the game tonight, 49-37. Salem Tigers with the lead. And the other way comes Gibson. Gibson handing it off to Nolkamper. Nolkamper drives it down to Carnell to the paint. Tried to kick it in to Adderley. Could not get it in there. Now back to Carnell. Handing it off to Gibson. Takes a quick three. It's good. Well set up by Cuba to give Gibson that free shot, making a 9-point game again. Here's Gapsh for Salem Tigers. Move them to run some clock here. See if they want to try and do that. Helenar has it, fires it across to Wofford. Down low, trying to get it down. Nope, they don't. They turn the ball over. Stolen away by Steelville, and coming all the way down is Gibson and lays it in. Tigers now with 11 turnovers in this game, and they're back to a 7-point lead. Gapsh has it to Helenar. Fire it down. And a 3-second violation called on Salem. I believe on Wofford, but it could have been on Sapaw. They were both hanging around there. 4:33 to go. Wofford will check out. Cunningham comes in. 49-42, 4.5 to go. Tigers had as much as a 12-point lead in this one, but again, have watched Cuba narrow that gap down to 7. Here's Flores to the paint, trying to kick it outside. The dude quickly and hitting another three is Gibson. He's getting hot. And that's now a 4-point Salem Tiger lead. Back-to-back turnovers hasn't helped any. Now Cunningham down to Helenar, and he'll be fouled by Flores, and that'll be the third team foul on Cuba and the second on Flores. 49-45 our score. Gap's trying to get it in, fires it out to Thomas. Thomas in the corner, Gap's back to Thomas. Cross to Cunningham. Set him on the perimeter, fires it back on top, Thomas. Back to Cunningham. Inside it goes to Sapaw, trying to drive in, and the foul's going to be called, I believe, on Nolkamper. Yep. And Ethan Nolkamper will have 3. Brown will check out. Coming in the ball game will be Keogh. 3:50 remains in regulation. Inbound comes to Wofford. Shot no good. Puts his rebound back up and in. Wofford's got 10. Tiger lead back to 6. Back the other way. Flores to the paint. Trying to get the shot off. Blocked there by Sapaw. Comes down the hands of Gapsh. Gapsh trying to fire it down to Cunningham. Underneath the basket, trying to lay it in. No good. Rebound by Sapaw, trying to put in. No good. And tipped and brought down and controlled in the corner by Nolkamper. 51-45. Pass to Carnell. Carnell to paint to the hole. Lays it in. Back to a 4-point lead with 3:10 remaining. A lot of time left to go. Cunningham for the Salem Tigers on top to Sapaw. Sapaw to the paint, to the hole, trying to lay it up. Missed it. Brought down by Carnell. Yeah, maybe trying to do a little too much there. 2:55 to go. They drive down. Carnell with a 3-pointer. It's off the iron, but brought down by Gibson. Turn, spins, shot up is good. A timeout called by Coach Patterson. As Gibson, who had 10 points in the first quarter, and now has 20 on the game as he scored 10 more here in the fourth. And we have a 2-point ball game, 51-49. 2:48 remains in regulation. Let's take a 30-second break and come right back. It's Tiger Basketball on KSMO Media.
Your legacy. Protect it, prosper, and pass it on. Stephen Patterson, attorney at law, specializes in real estate, estate planning, probate, family law, and business law. A Salem native, Stephen Patterson provides comprehensive representation to clients throughout southern Missouri. If you need assistance, contact Stephen Patterson, attorney at law, at 573-453-2529.
And Discount Bins at 1201 Scenic Rose Boulevard in Salem is proud to be a supporter of your Salem Tigers. Remember, every Thursday they close down to restock, and with Christmas coming up, no better time to find great values than Discount Bins, an incredible treasure trove of incredible deals. 573-543-2113 is their number. Incredible Discount Bins, where incredible can come to life. Proud supporter of your Salem Tigers. Thomas has it with Salem Tigers on the inbound. 2.5 to go. Regulation. Thomas trying to get in. Can't. Goes back to Wofford. Wofford trying to drive in, and a foul called on the floor. Now to put Wofford at the line to shoot two. Foul called on Carnell, his third. So Wofford, who has 10 points in the game, will shoot free throws. Now Salem Tigers have to make sure they hit these free throws, and the free throw is short. Talking to Coach Neil Myers prior to the game, said, Steelville hit 5 of 24 free throws and lost by 6 points. Free throws are key. Let's see if Eli can hit this one. This one is also no good. Battled for and taken by the Salem Tigers. Sapah getting it back to Gaps. Gaps to the paint, to the hole. Kicks it back underneath the Sapah. Trying to drive in, can't. Goes to Thomas. 2:15 to go. Big rebound there by Sapah, but the ball handed away to the Salem Tigers again. In the corner with that ball is Gibson. He's wide open for a three. Instead goes inside to Brown. Turns, basically ties this game. 2 missed free throws and a tying basket by Cuba after the steal. 51 all, our score with 1:45 to go. Here's Gaps trying to drive to the paint. Had a shot blocked away. Battles for it. And Gaps will draw a foul. Had his shot blocked. And then gets his second foul. And now Cuba really has momentum going their way. And a timeout called by Coach Patterson. 51-51 our score. We're in the fourth quarter with 1:40 to go. Let's take a 30-second break and come back. Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
Are you wanting to know what's going on in Salem? It's easy. All you need to do is subscribe to the City of Salem's Text Blast service. First, you need to text the number 855-435-4811. Then text the word CITY for all pertinent alerts and announcements for the city. For alerts concerning utilities, text the word utility. And if you're wanting to know about parks and recreation, just text the word parks. The City of Salem Text Blast service, 855-435-4811. Subscribe today.
One thing, our friends at Technology Junkyard for being a proud supporter of Salem Tigers. Open Monday through Friday from 10 to 6. You can also give them a call, 573-453-0418. Talk with Chris about the incredible refurbished deals he has at Technology Junkyard. That's on Highway 72 North. Don't miss out. And also, he offers repair service for your TVs and computers and can recycle and repurpose your electronics as well. Technology Junkyard, proud to support your Salem Tigers. Salem coming in 1-0 after their big win over Licking, where they kind of gave away some of their points in the fourth quarter. But tonight, Cuba has outscored them 15-10 here in the fourth quarter to tie the game 51-all. Salem 3 times in this game had 12-point leads. Could not hold on to them. Here's Carnell the other way. Carnell back on top to Gibson with 1.5 to go. Cuba may run some clock here. Putting it up, taking the three, and missing that shot was Gibson. And this time, Thomas brings down the rebound. He's fouled from behind. And Noltkamper will get that foul. That'll be his fourth. To the line goes Thomas. 51-51. Thomas is 2 for 2 from the stripe. And the free throw is good. Salem back up by 1. Thomas with another one coming with 1:22 to go. He hits that one as well. The other way, Carnell off to Gibson. Down to a minute 15. Carnell trying to get over that timeline. Flips it down to Gibson. It was 3-on-2 for a minute, but Gibson slowed it down. Now Gapsch trying to take it away from him. Now goes to Flores. Flores with a minute 5 to go. They get it back now to Nolkamper to Gibson. Gibson back to Nolkamper in the corner. A.J. Flores lost it out of bounds off his hand into the Cuba bench, and that turnover gives the ball back to the Salem Tigers. Salem inbounds it now, under a minute to go. Thomas gets by one man. She just pulled up. Instead, goes underneath the Staypaw. Staypaw can't get the shot off. Goes to Wofford. Wofford trying to get the shot off. Does. And he's going to be called for a travel. Wofford had the shot blocked, and he went try to go back up with it. Salem should have taken clock off there and did not. At least in my opinion, they should have. They had the opportunity to run it a little bit. Instead, went underneath and now give Cuba the chance to tie it or possibly even win the game. Pass the other way to Carnell. Carnell in the corner. Flores out on top of Nolkamper. 30 seconds to go. Nolkamper, right side pass to Gibson. Gibson, who just missed the 3 moments ago with 25 seconds left, slowing it down. Fires the left side to Nolkamper to Flores. Takes the 3-pointer from the corner. Missed it. And brought down, though, by Carnell. Goes back to Gibson for the 3. He missed it. Brought down by Sapal, who flips it off to Thomas. 11 seconds left, and Thomas will be fouled by Nolkamper, who will foul out of the game. 9.7 seconds left. Huge rebound by Sapal. The Tigers kind of ducked one there. Flores missed it, and Gibson missed it. Game's not over yet, though. Thomas will take 2 free throws here. If he makes them both, it'll be very difficult for Cuba to tie it. He makes the first. Still a 1-possession game. Timeout called by Coach DJ Days. Let's take a 30-second break and come right back. 54-51, Salem on top. Let's take that 30-second break and return. Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
From our yard into your home. At Can Oak, Missouri in Salem, we specialize in superior kiln-dried lumber and hardwood flooring built to last. Choose from red oak, white oak, and hickory. Ask about grade lumber and special orders for straight line ripping and custom widths. Visit us at 435 County Road 6430 or call 573-729-3310. Can Oak, Missouri. High-end quality wood, locally made.
And welcome back. Again, the winner of this game will play tomorrow night against St. James at 8:30 here at Sullivan. And the loser will play at 5:30 against the St. Louis Patriots, who lost to St. James. And that final score was 73-58 prior to this contest here tonight. Also earlier winning tonight, Potosi won easily over St. Sullivan by 25 points. And Warrenton beat Steelville 60-54. I mentioned Steelville missing all those free throws. Missed 19 free throws, 5 of 24. That's tough. Tigers right now trying to seal it with a free throw from Lincoln Thomas, or pretty well seal it. And this one is short, brought down by Sapal. Lane violation called, I think, on Cuba, so Thomas will get another crack at it. Wow, that's a break. Coming in too early was Gibson. So Thomas will have another crack at it. And this one, and this time Salem violates it. So it belongs to Cuba, down by 3 with 8.9 seconds left. That's still plenty of time to get into Gibson. Gibson against Cunningham coming down. Gibson stops and calls timeout with 4.5 seconds left. We'll take a 30-second break and come back. 54-51, Salem on top. It's Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
Hi, Carrie Patton here from Town & Country Bank. We've got all the perks of a national bank, like online banking, quick loan approval, and you can even deposit your check from your phone. That's not why our customers love us, though. They love us because we still offer hometown customer service. Stop by one of our area locations and let our friendly team remind you how special hometown banking can be. Smart, friendly solutions. Town & Country Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And welcome back. It's 4.5 seconds left, setting the scene. Cuba down by 3, has the ball in front of their bench to inbound it. They could send this into overtime. Lincoln Thomas had a chance to win it with 2 free throws, 1 lane violation. After he missed the first one by Cuba, gave him another chance. He missed that one, but Salem had a lane violation. So those mistakes can come back to haunt you. Hopefully they won't, as the Salem Tigers cling to that 3-point lead. We mentioned they had a 12-point lead in this contest, but could not hold on. So it'll be Gibson to inbound it. Noel Camper, one of their better 3-point shooters, is fouled out of the game. Carnell in there along with Brown and Flores. They're going to try and get it back to Carnell. Carnell has it. 3 seconds left. Carnell with a long 3. It's way wide. And the Salem Tigers hang on, and they defeat the Cuba Wildcats by a score of 54-51 as they outscored Cuba here in this third quarter. Well, they didn't. They were outscored by Cuba in the fourth quarter, 15-13, but they end up winning the contest by a final score of 54-51. We've got stats to bring you when we return in 3 minutes. It's Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
At Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, we are proud to be chosen by our neighbors and recognized by Forbes as one of America's best insurance companies. Awarded for the dependable coverage we've been providing for generations, including 75 years of life insurance to protect Missouri families. Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We've got Missouri covered.
Hi, I'm Willie Strader and proud to be part of this community. For all your insurance needs, call me at 573-729-4941.
Check out Country Mart in Salem, where in their bakery you can find a large variety of cakes for all occasions, anytime, and by special order, like anniversary, wedding, and birthday cakes. Country Mart has a full-service deli where breakfast is served daily. They have deli sandwiches that are made while you wait, and they offer daily lunch specials every day. You'll also find a large selection of cheese and deli meats to choose from. It's just another reason to shop at Country Mart in Salem, Highway 3272 East.
Every day we share personal information, like when you write a check, apply for a credit card, or even make a call on a cell phone. And the Bank of Salem wants to pass on some tips on how to protect yourself from identity theft. Don't carry around more checks, credit cards, or identification information than you really need in your wallet. Make sure you always safely store those items and other important documents. Plus, you should always choose passwords and PIN numbers that will be tough for someone to figure out. These tips are brought to you by the Bank of Salem, member FDIC, and Equal Housing Lender.
Holiday savings are going on now at Napa Auto Parts store in Salem, where you'll find Rain-X washer fluids starting at $4.99. Save up to 42% on select night vision LED minis, fog lights, and LED sealed beams and gear up accessories. Your choice for $7.49 each. Stop by Napa Auto Parts store at 604 East Scenic Rivers Boulevard in Salem. Open from 8 to 5 Monday through Fridays and 8 to noon on Saturdays.
You want to teach your kid good money habits, but handing them a license to spend isn't smart. You need to easily manage where and how much they can spend, get alerts when they do, and have support to teach them money skills. Our student debit card account does all of that and more for ages 13 through 25. Their debit card can be added to their phone or smartwatch, and you can instantly move money and help manage their card in the app. Only at Progressive Ozark Bank. FDIC insured.
Want to change a life in just 1 hour a week? Thanks to the opioid settlement funds through Healthy Dent County, the Mentoring Makes a Difference program is here, connecting caring adults with local students. 1 hour of your time can make a lasting difference. Join us today and become a mentor. Contact liberty@salemcommunitycenter.org or call 573-729-8163. Mentoring makes a difference. 1 hour, one child, one big impact.
And we welcome you back to Sullivan, Missouri, where the Salem Tigers defeated the Cuba Wildcats by a score of 54-51. The Salem Tigers really did a yeoman's job tonight as playing good defense, but rebounding, they did an exceptional job. 24 rebounds for the Salem Tigers, only 11 for the Cuba Wildcats in this one. The Salem Tigers did a really good job in the paint, especially early on. Then they started trying, somewhere in that second half, started just trying to pull up, take threes, not probably their strongest suit, and really and missed them. If if you're hitting them, that's one thing. But when you're missing them, you're giving the other team the ball right back. And that kind of changed the course of the way the game was going. Salem had that 12-point lead at the time, and instead of adding to it, they let Cuba chip away at him. Cuba came back, did tie the game at 51 all, but some key free throws by Lincoln Thomas won the game for the Salem Tigers as they win it by a score of 54-51 over the Cuba Wildcats. Salem was led by Gavin Sapaw, 24 points, 10 points for Eli Wofford and Lincoln Thomas, 4 points for Braden Gapsch and also Isaac Hedrick, 2 points for Ryan Hallinar in the contest for the Salem Tigers. Leading rebounder was Sapaw with 12, 3 each for Hedrick and Wofford, and then 1 each for Ryan Cunningham. Thomas had 1. Also, Tyson Connors had 1 for Gapsch, 1 for Ragsdale as well. Salem Tigers 12 of 18 from the free throw line and going along with that 24 rebounds in the contest. For the Cuba Wildcats, DJ Dace coaching them. 20 points for Braden Gibson. He had 10 in the first quarter, 10 in the fourth quarter, 20 points total, 12 for Caleb Brown, 9 points for Cameron Carnell, and then 8 points for Ethan Noltkamper, 2 points for AJ Flores, and 2 points for Max Kehoe in the contest for the Cuba Wildcats. Again, they only had 11 rebounds, 4 of them by Caleb Brown, 2 by Ethan Noltkamper and also Carnell, and 2 also by AJ Flores, 1 by Gibson in the contest. Cuba was 3 of 4 from the stripe, and again, 11 rebounds. Salem Tigers finished with 12 turnovers. Cuba finished with 12 turnovers. Salem Tigers finished with 8 steals, and Cuba Wildcats finished with 8 steals. Pretty even game, and the final score bears that out, 54-51. When we come back in 2 minutes to wrap it up, we'll give you the schedule for tomorrow here at the FCNB tournament. When we return, it's Tiger basketball on KSMO Media.
At Four Rivers Community Health Center, we provide compassionate care for the whole family. From routine checkups and chronic condition management to dental care and behavioral health services to support your overall well-being. With locations in Rolla, St. Robert, Salem, and now in Cuba, quality care is closer than you think. Schedule your appointment online at fourrivers.org. Call or text 573-426-4455. At Four Rivers, we're more than healthcare. We're your partner in health.
What's the fastest way for you to get yourself up to date on the latest in news, sports, weather, and obituaries that costs you absolutely nothing? It's Your World Today. Serving Salem and Dent County now for over 20 years, Your World Today is 4 pages of information that will take you about 5 minutes to read, and they're available in over 30-plus locations in Salem and in Bunker. Your World Today. Pick one up every weekday. They're free. You've seen the vertical screens in Salem and Houston filled with local community events, business ads, and even obituaries. It's called Town Screen. But did you know that you can place your message in either or both of those towns, starting as low as $15 for a week per market? You won't find a more affordable way to get your message out to the public. Produce your own ad or get help from the Town Screen staff. Go online to townscreen.com or call or text 636-338-1199. Town Screen.
Want to change a life in just 1 hour a week? Thanks to the opioid settlement funds through Healthy Dent County, the Mentoring Makes a Difference program is here, connecting caring adults with local students. 1 hour of your time can make a lasting difference. Join us today and become a mentor. Contact liberty@salemcommunitycenter.org or call 573-729-8163. Mentoring makes a difference. 1 hour, one child, one big impact.
Well, now the final game is in the bag. Now we can tell you what the lineup is for tomorrow in the losers bracket. It'll be Sullivan going up against Steelville. That'll be at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. At 5:30, it'll be the St. Louis Patriots taking on the Cuba Wildcats. In the 7 o'clock game, it'll be Potosi versus Warrenton in the winners bracket. And St. James will take on Salem at 8:30 in the final game of the night. So the Tigers hang on to win it 54-51. St. James came out flying tonight, so Tigers will have their hands full. The St. James Tigers, they're going to have to play a little bit tighter game and make sure they hang on to that ball and not turn that ball over, because St. James will definitely, and I can tell you this for a fact, press the Salem Tigers about 60% of the time tomorrow night to see if they can force some turnovers. So it'll be key for the Salem Tigers to hang on to that ball and take advantage. If they can break that press, they should get a lot of easy baskets. But again, the key is they have to break the press. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night between Salem and St. James. That'll be at 8:30 or approximately therein. Like tonight, we got started at almost 9 here at Sullivan, and we hope you can attend. But if you can't make it, we have it here on KSMO AM 1340 and FM 95.7 tomorrow. It will be on the radio side and also on the stream side at KSMOradio.com, KSMO Stream Facebook, and KSMO YouTube. For Ben Bag of the station, my name is Stan Stevens. Thanking all of you for joining us for Tiger Basketball on KSMO Media, where Salem wins it tonight, 54-51. Have a great evening and good night from Sullivan.
Thank you for tuning into this broadcast of Salem Tiger Sports. Tonight's game wouldn't be possible without these incredible sponsors: Town & Country Bank, Farm Bureau Insurance, Country Mart, the Bank of Salem, Napa Mooney Auto Supply, Town Screen LLC, Town & Country Insurance, City of Salem, Dent County Prevention Coalition, Southwest Baptist University, Salem Campus, Terrell Complete Auto Care, Edward Jones, Joe Brand and Leah Nash, Duncan Family Chiropractic, State Farm Insurance, Can Oak Lumber, Salem Truss Manufacturing, Progressive Ozark Bank, Stephen Patterson, Attorney at Law, Hubs Tire Center, Flying W Boutique, Four Rivers, American Family Insurance, Looking Glass Salon, Candy Mink and Katie Carty, Living the Dream Real Estate, Quick Tan and more, Rockin' G Western Trading Post, Dent County Farm Supply, Healthy Dent County, Mid-Ozark Animal Health Center Incorporated, United Country Salem Realty, Jet Tire and Auto, Salem License Bureau, Technology Junkyard, Ozark Overhead Door, Legends Automotive LLC, On the Spot Auto Glass, Your World Today, The Hot Spot Tanning and Tuxedos, and Discount Bins. Thanks to those fine sponsors, we're able to bring you Salem Tiger Sports and community events right here on KSMO Media.